Who am I? In this module, we consider the answer to the ageless question, who am I? We start off by explaining who you are not, and then move on to a fascinating discussion of consciousness. We will explore what energy is and why things resonate with you. We'll discuss the practice of grounding and give you some indications of where to find your tribe. Let's start with who are you not? Well, for starters, you are not your physical body. When you die, you vacate your body. Research that was done on people who were clinically dead for up to 3 minutes and who were then revived indicate that these people had full awareness for up to 3 minutes after they had clinically died. They can describe in detail what happened and what was said in the room where they clinically died. On the other hand, when you ask around, you'll find that video of a deceased body of a woman in China that was left in a deserted corridor. You can see on the video how a spirit leaves the body. But why did this happen so long after the woman died and not immediately? Why was this apparently the only incident of a body leaving a soul captured? And how is it that the video camera was so conveniently available? I'm not sure that my spirit will be visible to the naked eye when it leaves my body. But then I don't know everything. So if you can vacate your body, what is it that leaves your body? Is it some sort of plasma like early spiritualists managed to capture on photographs? Is it a ghost-like vapor? Whatever it is, it's not your body. If you think it's all in the mind, how about this? A lot of research has been done on which part of your brain regulates which part of your existence. For example, you have a cerebellum, which is a part of your brain. The cerebellum receives information from the sensory systems, the spinal cords, and other parts of the brain, and then regulates motor movements. Without the cerebellum, you will have difficulty with voluntary movements such as posture, balance, coordination, and speech, and you will struggle with smooth and balanced muscular activity. Now imagine the surprise of medical staff when a young woman in China walked into a hospital complaining of nausea and dizziness, and it was discovered that she had no cerebellum. And she's not the only person on record who is able to function with a part of her brain missing. There are many documented cases. A girl in Germany was born without the right hemisphere of her brain. This was only discovered when she was 3 years old. The right hemisphere coordinates the left side of the body and performs tasks that have to do with creativity and the arts. A medical practitioner stated that despite lacking one hemisphere, the girl has normal psychological function and is perfectly capable of living a normal and fulfilling life. She's witty, charming, and intelligent. She is not her brain. Other fascinating examples relate to phantom limbs and to people who were born without a limb. There's a documented example of a girl who was born without 4 arms and hands, who solved math problems by counting on her fingers. Another example relates to a woman who was born without arms, even though she sees herself gesticulating in a conversation. If you want to explore this further, read up on how amputees experience phantom limbs. The limb is no longer there, but they experience discomfort and pain as if the limb is still there. This is not limited. Apparently, around 80% of amputees experience these phantom limbs. Somehow, their minds tell them the limb is still there and can still feel pain, even when their eyes tell them the limb is no longer there. Our brains are computers. The program doesn't change if the body is incomplete. Our brains have an innate, hardwired template for our body images that is independent of what we see and feel. Are you aware of the research on colorblind people who see through red or purple or orange for the first time? How do they know which color is which? How can they suddenly see and recognize red after not being able to before? They can see shades of gray on a spectrum, and they can tell you which shade of gray represent purple or red. However, when they at first truly see the colors, they are floored by the vibrancy of the true color. A large part of the recovery of stroke patients focuses on retraining the brain to do the things it was able to do before the stroke. Of course, you can't resurrect the damaged part of the brain, but other parts of the brain seem to be trainable to take on the functions. So to be clear, you are not the computer that is called your brain. You are consciousness, and your mind works with your body to turn your consciousness into time, space, and physicality. But still, you leave all of that behind when you eventually leave your body.